Hi, my name is Holly Warwick, and I'm an RBT at BDA.
And I'm Jamie Napoleon. I'm an RBT at BDA as well. Today we're going to discuss task list item G2, Design and Evaluate Differential Reinforcement, DRRA, DRO, DRL, DRH procedures with and without extinction.
Have you ever worked with a learner who engages in a behavior such as yelling, throwing materials, or hitting when they want attention or want to escape a task? A common strategy you might hear about in ABA is extinction, meaning we stop reinforcing the challenging behavior, but sometimes extinction isn't possible or appropriate. For example, maybe the behavior is unsafe, maybe multiple adults are involved, or maybe the environment makes it hard to completely stop reinforcement.
One evidence-based strategy we can use is differential reinforcement of alternative behavior without extinction. This allows us to teach and reinforce a better behavior while still reducing the challenging behavior, even when extinction can't be used.
Differential reinforcement of alternative behavior, often called DRRA, means reinforcing a specific alternative behavior that serves the same function as the problem behavior.
When we say without extinction, it means the challenging behavior may still contact some reinforcement, but we make the alternative behavior much more efficient and valuable for the learner.
In simple terms, we teach the learner a better way to get what they want, and we reinforce that behavior more strongly and more consistently than the challenging behavior.
This concept connects to the ABA task list because it focuses on using differential reinforcement procedures to increase appropriate behaviors and decrease interfering behaviors.
Let's look at a couple real-world ABA examples. Example 1, escape from tasks. Imagine a learner who throws their pencil and yells when asked to complete a worksheet. The behavior likely functions to escape the task. Instead of only trying to stop the yelling, we could teach the learner to request a break by saying "break please" or by handing over a break card. Now, when the learner appropriately asks for a break, we immediately reinforce that behavior by giving them a short break from the task. If the learner still occasionally yells, the teacher might still pause briefly to maintain safety, but the quickest and most reliable way to get a break becomes the appropriate request. Over time, the learner begins using the alternative behavior more often.
Example 2, attention seeking. Let's say a student taps peers or grabs materials to get attention from staff. Instead, we teach the student to raise their hand or say "excuse me." When the student uses that appropriate communication response, the staff member gives immediate attention and praise, such as responding quickly, talking with the student, or helping them. If the student grabs materials, staff might still redirect them, but the most powerful and consistent attention happens when they use the alternative behavior. This increases the appropriate communication while decreasing the disruptive behavior.
Research in applied behavior analysis supports the use of differential reinforcement procedures to reduce challenging behavior and increase appropriate replacement behaviors, such as in Fleck et al. 2023.
There may be cases for which it is impractical or impossible to withhold reinforcement following problem behavior. Escape extinction, for example, has typically been described as the continued presentation of instructions, often involving manually guiding the client to complete the instruction when problem behavior occurs. Depending on the size or strength of the client or the complexity of multiple step tasks, manual guidance may be physically impossible. When escape extinction does not include manual guidance, such as when presenting a verbal task or continuously representing tangible work materials, the severity of the client's behavior may preclude the therapist from continuing to prevent injuries.
In the case of problem behavior maintained by positive reinforcers such as attention or tangibles, caregivers may be compelled to deliver reinforcement if the problem behavior is disruptive, such as loud tantrums in a public location, or dangerous, such as aggression directed toward young peers or siblings.
A study by Yannicone and Jessel, 2023, supports the continued evaluation of DRRA without extinction, and instead varying reinforcer dimensions among those who exhibit problem behavior.
Reinforcing functionally equivalent alternative behaviors can lead to meaningful behavior change in many settings, including classrooms, clinics, and homes. Even when extinction isn't possible, the strategy helps learners develop appropriate communication and coping skills, which leads to long-term success. If you found this helpful, don't forget to subscribe. It helps us spread the science of ABA.